My question for the day is this: is your diet worth cheating on? Or is your diet provocative and sexy and you shouldn't be cheating on it anyway? I am craving pizza so badly, and I've been on a low carb diet for a long time. Are there some good low carb or keto options for some type of pizza so I can get that flavor out of my head?
I totally get that craving for pizza. Luckily, there are some great low carb and keto friendly options that can satisfy that pizza itch without knocking you off your diet. Cauliflower crust pizza. One of the most popular low carb alternatives, cauliflower crust is surprisingly delicious and gives you that pizza feel. You can make it at home or find pre-made versions at many grocery stores. Top it with your favorite low carb toppings like cheese, pepperoni, and veggies. Fafado pizza. This keto classic is made from almond flour, mozzarella cheese, cream cheese, and an egg. It's easy to make and bakes into a crispy, chewy crust that feels pretty close to traditional pizza dough. Meat crust pizza. If you're up for something a little different, try making a pizza with a crust made from ground meat like chicken, turkey, or beef. Just press the meat into a thin layer, bake it, and then add your toppings. It's super low carb and packed with protein. For a really simple and quick option, use large portobello mushrooms as your crust. Just top them with sauce, cheese, and your favorite toppings, then bake until everything is melted and delicious. These should help satisfy that pizza craving while keeping you on track with your low-carb diet. Which one sounds most appealing to you?
I like the idea of the all-meat pizza. Sounds amazing.
The all-meat pizza is a fantastic choice, especially if you're looking for something really satisfying and protein-packed. It's a great way to enjoy that pizza flavor without the carbs. You can get creative with the toppings too. Maybe add some bacon, sausage, or extra cheese to really take it up a notch. Enjoy making that pizza. Let me know how it turns out, or if you need any tips for cooking it just right.
What if I had concerns about the overall calories and I didn't want to make a keto pizza, but still kind of low carb, something that gives me the flavor of pizza without just a crazy abundance of fats and calories?
If you're looking to keep things low carb, but also want to manage the calorie intake, there are some great options that give you the pizza flavor without piling on too many fats or calories. Zucchini or egg slices. Use thick slices of zucchini or eggplant as the base for mini pizzas. They're much lower in calories than a typical flatbread or meat crust, but still hold up well to toppings. Just bake or grill the slices, add your sauce, cheese, and toppings, and then bake again until the cheese is melted. You can use a low-carb tortilla as the crust. This gives you that thin crust pizza vibe with a fraction of the calories and carbs compared to a regular crust. Just toast the tortilla a bit before adding toppings, then bake until the cheese is bubbly. Bell pepper pizza boats. Cut a bell pepper in half and use it as a vessel for your pizza toppings. Bell peppers are low in calories and carbs, and they add a nice crunch. Just fill the pepper halves with sauce, cheese, and your favorite toppings. Then bake until everything is melted. Portobello mushroom caps. As mentioned before, portobello mushrooms are a great option, but they're also low in calories and carbs, making them perfect if you're trying to watch your fat intake too. They're meaty enough to be satisfying, but light enough to keep the calories in check. These options should help you enjoy the flavor of pizza without going overboard on calories or carbs. Which one sounds good to you?
See, we got a lot of options out there. We don't have to always go so overboard if we're going to cheat on our diet. I don't really love the idea of staying too attached to calories. However, if someone's counting calories and it's helping them, then that's cool. But if you're going to think about calories, you're going to think about the energy that you're consuming, it might be better to think about it like overall, like in the course of like a month. So let's say that you had a day, let's say you're trying to plan a cheat meal, which I'm kind of wondering if people should be cheating on their diets anyway. Can you really afford it? Especially like where you're at in your current state, can you afford it? It's just a question. That's not a statement. Question mark, not a period. I'm just wondering, can you afford it? And maybe for some, Maybe they can because it's not going to trigger other bad behaviors, but for a lot of people, it just triggers and then it's kind of a downward spiral. And I've seen it happen to where a cheat meal turns into a cheat day, which turns into a cheat weekend, which turns into a cheat week, which then turns into the person completely being off plan, and then the person saying, I used to do keto, I used to do low carb, I used to track my calories, but it didn't work because as soon as I stopped doing that, I gained all the weight back. You're like, well, yeah, your car won't work either unless you get in it and drive it, right? I mean, things that they only work when you're utilizing them. And when it comes to your nutrition, we have to figure out how can we take advantage. You guys might know I'm a fan of low carb. One of the reasons I've been a fan of low carb is because for me, it helps me to keep my energy in balance a little bit better overall, over the long haul. But I think if we can think about nutrition and think about energy as like being something that's going on for a long, long time rather than just a day, I think we'd be better off. If you can grab a big old roll of chub right here, then I'm not saying this to disappoint you, to make you mad, to make you hate me, to make you sad, but you have a lot of energy stored in your system and on your system, right? And so that would mean that going on a 250 calorie a day deficit diet could be useful and it could be really helpful, and you could add up the numbers and figure out, what a pound of fat is, and you could lose 2 pounds a week for the first few weeks, or maybe lose, a pound or so, per week or so with just such a small deficit, maybe even be less depending on the person. But you get my point. Is like you can do that and have this restriction, but that restriction sometimes, when some people start getting into higher calorie restriction, like 500 calories and so on per day, their mind starts to really wander and drift. So that's where, for me, the pleasure, for me personally, the pleasure of a ketogenic diet or low carb diet, of eating bacon and cheese and whole eggs and stuff, that gives me so much satisfaction and satiation. It's easier for me to control the overall energy that I'm consuming. However, I still need to be cognizant of the fact that 10 eggs is a lot of calories. 10 eggs could have 60 protein. Cool. 10 eggs could have 60 grams of fat. Probably not so great if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to get lean, because one of the secrets of people getting lean, one of the secrets of people getting, not just losing body fat, but people like getting shredded, is that a lot of times their fat calories are very low. And this is not advisable to do for long periods of time because it can kind of make you crazy. It can mess with your hormones, and it can cause a lot of those cravings that we talked about earlier, because fats are not only satiating, but they're very satisfying. So they can help make you feel full for longer, but there's also something about that texture and that mouthfeel of eating like a brisket, or eating some bacon, or having a ribeye that's like crusted on the end with some salt. Just unbelievable flavor, right? So my question for today is this. We'll have this be the start of the video. My question for the day is this: is your diet worth cheating on? Or is your diet provocative and sexy and you shouldn't be cheating on it anyway because you're not really on much of a diet? How tough is your diet? How tough is your nutrition? And where did cheat meals come from in the first place? I think that cheat meals came from bodybuilding. And I don't believe that you eat or have near the discipline of high-level bodybuilders. Strength is never weakness, weakness is never strength. Catch you guys later.